All right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. When I say 1, 2, 3, you want the 1, 2, 3, or you want the ready, set, go? What do you want? All right, is everybody ready? I just want to say, if you guys want to kind of move closer, if you need to come up and view it, please feel free. There's some people in the back that were asking because they're not really in the best spot. So if somebody stands in front of you, just stand up too, okay? Everybody just stand up during the 20-minute round. It's fine. Everybody just crowd the stage, whatever you need to do. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, go!
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Art Battle in Minnesota. We are here in round number 1. These artists have 20 minutes on the clock to go from blank canvas to finished masterpiece right in front of your eyes. Look at this crazy technique that's going on. We have an artist who has some sort of brush attached to a drill. That is definitely an Art Battle first. I absolutely have never seen that. So very interested to see how that piece continues to evolve. And at this easel here, Jeremy Arbizo, we actually have a champion artist. He won not too long ago on January 13th in Phoenix. And looks like he's going with a dark canvas to start off with. And here we are with Amanda Robinette, and Amanda looks like she is doing a smaller composition. I'm feeling like maybe it's going to be leaning into an animal portrait. And here we are with Anton, and Anton looks like he is bringing some foliage potentially. Very excited about the lineup here tonight. This is actually our first event ever in Minnesota, and apart from Jeremy, all of these artists are brand new to Art Battle. So this is their first time taking on the live competitive painting circuit. And checking out Matt Semke here, and I believe that this is our artist who was using the drill, which is just so crazy. I love it. And Matt describes his work as psychedelic and visionary, and he likes to combine analog techniques with layering digital technologies on top of them. So some really interesting work from Matt here. Definitely leaning into the analog, but he's bringing in the technology with that drill there. And on easel number 2, we can see Yuya, who is going in with some very careful line work. Matt going in now with a brush, adding some red accents on top of this abstraction that he's got going on right now. Over to Yuya, and Yuya describes his work as being inspired by memories of him growing up in the Japanese countryside, and is trained in traditional sumi and calligraphy techniques. And Yuya has also painted many murals in the area and is quite well known and describes himself as a prolific artist, creating lots and lots of work. So I bet that Yuya has been practicing for this event for some time. Back over to Jeremy here, and Jeremy is a really, really fun artist to watch in battle because he has such a unique style. I was lucky enough to catch his win when he was painting in Phoenix, and he does these just incredible calligraphic line works that really also lean into street art. He likes to describe his work as calligraffiti. And moving over to Guillermo Valadez, and Guillermo is also a muralist. He travels creating murals internationally, describes his work as vibrant and fanciful. So we're definitely seeing some of this kind of pop art influence that I was able to see from his studio work as well, getting these super, super bright saturated colors. We're into the primary palette right now with that super saturated cerulean and yellow and that pop of red. And he's layering all of these gorgeous darker lines on top. and really giving me that kind of Andy Warhol vibe, as if he's silkscreening this image on top of all of these bright colors. With Amanda Robinette here, and Amanda had a really interesting way of talking about her work. She was saying that she likes to create works that communicate her feelings. She feels like her artwork is best able to describe her emotions and communicate her emotions to others. And I have to say, I'm definitely seeing that in this piece. This piece is so emotive. We have a figure that's crouched down on the ground and is feeling very vulnerable, potentially with a roiling sea underneath. Definitely getting so much emotion from Amanda's piece already. Over here with Anton again, and Anton, I think that maybe he's creating some sort of bird. I'm getting the impression of like a phoenix, or maybe I'm seeing with the shape of the face an owl. And then it looks like we have a little bit of some landscape in the bottom. So we're actually getting an aerial view. Really, really excited about this piece and looking forward to seeing how it comes together as the minutes tick down. If you are joining us on the stream, Art Battle is live competitive painting. These artists have 20 minutes to go from start to finish, and we have 3 rounds across the night. We have a first round and a second round, both qualifying, and a third and final round. So the top 2 artists from our first 2 rounds will be moving on to the final, and you will vote for those artists at artbattle.com/AB2404. So make sure that you head on over to that link and cast your vote for your favorite artists. I believe that voting is now open. Getting a view now of the artists in their creative element, their faces full of concentration. We can actually see that Anton is indeed wearing a cape and some really, really cool, very steampunk goggles there as well. Everyone just super concentrated, really focused on creating the work. They are approaching the halfway mark. And so everyone has really established their compositions already, and now we're into the time of honing these creations. So excited to be here tonight in Minnesota. We've got a great crowd gathered at the event venue. It looks like the energy is high tonight for sure. Heading back over to our painters to see how these pieces are evolving. Looks like Matt has started to add in some representational elements, which I'm really appreciating. I'm enjoying the way that Matt is building this piece. We had kind of that initial abstract element being thrown down on the canvas and in an especially exciting way with that drill. And then he kind of smeared on that skin color there, and I wasn't sure what was going on with that, why that field of color was taking up so much of the canvas. And now we can see that he's layered these darker lines on top of it, and is actually going into kind of this cubist illustration, cubist portrait. Over here with Guillermo Valadez, and Guillermo's piece is evolving in such a wonderful way. Checking out the texture that's on top of this Buddha head, and it's feeling so sculptural, and I'm loving the unconventional palette. Again, Amanda with this super emotive piece. And then, of course, Anton. And I believe that that is looking like a barn owl to me. And he's just done such a great job with getting this very majestic spread of the wings, which is creating a lot of interest compositionally as well. We've got kind of a diagonal composition there. And Amanda now is starting to add in some geometric shapes on top of the sky. I'm wondering if she's going to blend those out into clouds or if we're going to keep going in this geometric direction. With Guillermo, and I'm really enjoying the way that he's created these hot and cold pieces within this painting. We have red taking up the majority of one side of the Buddha head there. And back with Yuya, and Yuya looks like he is creating a dragon. Very illustrative. I'm loving those super wavy lines, very stylized, and definitely recognizable as having some of that kind of classical Japanese imagery, but being brought into this more contemporary, almost street art feel. And we're getting a chance now to see the texture that is playing off of Matt's work as well, with all of that layering and all of the different tools that he's been using. And now we can see he's using his finger, he's wiggling it at our camera person. And now we're panning over to the tool that he used, that hand drill, and I think that it's a sponge that's attached to it. Very interesting. I almost wish that he used it for longer within the round. I would love to see continued use of that and how he would switch colors. We can see now that his portrait has this floral crown going on. We have just about 6.5 minutes remaining in this round. Once again, you're going to head to artbattle.com/AB2404 to cast your vote for your favorite artist. The top 2 artists from this round and our next qualifying round will be moving forward to the 3rd and final showdown. So we'll have our top 4 artists competing for the winning title of the night. Watching Matt really harmonizing this piece by adding in that yellow to the side of this portrait. He's grabbing the colors that he was using in the florals that are on the side of the canvas, and by bringing it onto that side of the face as a highlighting element, he's really bringing the whole piece together. And over here with Yuya, and really interesting the way that he's added all of these colored strokes within this piece. The black and white elements are definitely feeling more of that kind of classical Japanese calligraphic painting. And then where he's bringing it into this contemporary space is by adding these fluorescent colors on top and just really creating this kind of color explosion that's coming out of the dragon. And Yuya's also managed his time very well with this piece. It looks like at this point, he's just really adding in these small little hits, just choosing which brush strokes to use to accent and finish this piece off. Looking very chill, not seeming very rushed in our last 5 minutes. Always the mark of a confident painter. Back with Jeremy here, and the way that this piece has come together is just absolutely stunning. We have all of these calligraphic lines that are abstracted, but at the same time they're appearing very plant-like, and with it being on this black background, it's giving almost this otherworldly quality to it. And I'm really enjoying that. I love especially at the bottom where he's added black in. It's covered by his hand right now, but we can see that he's adding black in over top as the last layer to bring back some of that contrast. And speaking of contrast, Guillermo is adding in some black onto the background, and that's really helping to frame out this piece. It's really allowing this sculptural figure to come forward, really just placing that emphasis. And we can see he's just getting in those last little elements of shading. Again, taking his time, very chill. Lots of confidence here at the easels tonight, especially with almost all of these artists being brand new to Art Battle. So kudos to these guys. Amanda now looks like she is starting to blend out some of these elements that she's added. I'm not sure if they are paint or if she's actually collaged little bits of paper onto here. I'm thinking it might be paper because they look like they've got these very specific ripped edges, but it could just be very careful. Oh, now we're seeing it. Yes, she's collaging elements on here. I would love to talk to Amanda and see if these pages have any significance as they relate to the painting. It would be really cool if they were personal writings or something of that nature. Wow, this piece from Anton has come together so nicely, and it's really come into this kind of surreal element with the addition of the background that is showing us the green that I had initially thought was maybe houses in the distance underneath him is actually these lasers shooting out of the eyes of the owl. It's so cool. It's so interesting. The background color being this rich turquoise really sets off the red that's in the wings. And this piece just has a really wonderful glow about it. I think that that is going to be a very difficult painting to beat in this round. With 2 minutes left on the clock, a reminder to you guys to head over to the link that is on the screen, artbattle.com/AB2404. That is where you will vote for your favorite artists. The top 2 artists from this round and the top 2 from our next qualifying round will be moving on to the third and final, where one winner will be selected by the audience tonight and will become our Minnesota champion. Getting a great overview of all of these pieces now. So many different styles present in this round for sure. And I also want to point out that all of the artists have done a really great job on sticking to their style and evolving it to be within this live painting arena. I feel like I would recognize each of these artists' works at any point. I like every time we come over to Matt because we see him doing something a little bit different each time. And now he's blending out those eyelashes just a little touch with, literally with touch with the tip of his finger. And he looks like he's having a really great time painting as well. All of the artists just look like they're enjoying themselves and are also totally immersed in that creative process. Heading into our final seconds here. And that marks the end of round number 1 for our first ever Art Battle Minnesota. Congratulations to our first 6 artists to compete. A phenomenal first round. We can see Amanda with this very personal piece, Guillermo with this highly technical piece that incorporates that unexpected palette, Jeremy with that signature calligraffiti style, And Yuya, of course, bringing the classic into the contemporary. We will be back for round number 2 in just a few minutes. We will have our next 6 artists stepping up to the easels very, very shortly. Keep an eye out. We will be starting round number 2 in just a few minutes. In the meantime, head over to that link that is on your screen to cast your vote for these artists, your favorite artists. I want you to think about whose piece you liked the best visually, but also think about whose performance you were most engaged with and who you want to move forward to the final so that you can see them paint again. Also at that link is the auction. You don't need to be in the room tonight to check out the works and bid on them. We will ship them to you. Round number 2 coming up in just a few minutes.
Audience, you guys want to vote, right? Everyone wants to vote? Okay. I need you to pull out your cellular devices.
Oh, snap.
I need you to be patient with me because this is kind of a long process for those of you that haven't already set this up. Are you ready? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry I'm not more prepared. I know there's an easier way, but I failed at that tonight. So, patience. If you could please go to artbattle.com/events. Then scroll down until it asks for your name, phone number, and email. Once you put those things in there, it will text you a link. In that link, there will be 2 links. Well, is the audience ready? Ready, set, go!
We are here in Art Battle, Minnesota. We've just started our second round of the night. We have 12 incredible artists competing and painting live this evening. We are looking at our second group of 6. And these artists have 20 minutes on the clock to go from blank canvas to an incredible masterpiece right in front of your eyes. And these guys are just zooming off to their start right now. Check out what Linnea is doing. We've got lots of expressive movement happening, really aggressive brushwork, a lot of washy colors being applied as well that are ripping into each other, creating for a very expressive piece. Definitely leaning into the abstract already so far. Just a fantastic job already being done by Joe there. We're getting this beautiful blue sky happening, and it looks like he's starting to create some of those mountains heading up into the top portion of the canvas, really just reaching up there. And last but certainly not least, Kelly Frankenberg. And Kelly is working on a portrait. We have the initial outline done in this kind of warm yellow color, and we have some darker lines that are expressing the features of the face. Going in there with a detail brush already to really hone in on mapping out the initial facial features for Kelly. Getting into painting some of the highlights onto the bridge of the nose, now moving up, adding that yellow color into the rest of the face. Joe Mahoney here, just really expressing this beautiful, beautiful landscape. We've got all of these painterly strokes happening, and when I say painterly, what I mean is these brush strokes that are not overly blended. They're still very expressive of the paint that is on the brush and is working with the texture of the canvas. Tamina starting to go into the figure here, and it looks like my guess is going to be a bowl atop a figure's head. That is just initially what I'm kind of getting from this piece already. And she's really using this super warm background. Oh my gosh, check out Linnea's sweater. I think that she must have just turned this on because I did not realize that that this is what was going on. We've got Linnea is super expressive in her piece that she's painting, but she also is really expressive in her outfit. We have this kinetic sculpture of light that she's wearing as a vest. So really cool. I'm sure that that's going to win her some points with the audience as well. I'm sure that they will be drawn not only to her piece, but also her performance and her stage presence for sure. Back over with Jade Wilson, and looks like we have two koi swimming in like a yin-yang kind of formation. And she's got that bluey green color symbolizing the water or representing the water. And she's done a really great job getting the outline of these koi, and it's so specific, these kind of fluttering strokes that are coming off of the fins of the fish. I think that Jade's real challenge is going to be making sure that she gets that green-blue color right up next to the fish, but without getting muddy and without picking up any of that orange into her brush. I think that that's going to be the real challenge there for Jade. Sarah rocking a portrait over here, getting some red into the hair, and we also have these squiggly lines that are coming down, looking like curly hair, and I think that the lines are going to be a main focal point of this piece. She's painting a redhead, and so I think that she's going to be using the hair as a way to be very expressive and to bring a lot of energy into this work. I could be wrong about the blue coming up to the koi. It could be that she keeps this white orb around them. It's certainly a strong compositional component that is really striking in this piece. And we can see that she's actually going in with marker now to create some illustrative lines on top of the fish there, and to kind of sharpen some of the features. Linnea still going in with that super strong brushwork, and I'm wondering if actually she might be painting two-handed as well. I do see a brush in each hand. And very celebratory energy from Linnea here. And over with Tamina, and yes, we were correct. We have a woman who is balancing a bowl on top of her head with some traditional headwear, and has a baby swaddled on her back. It's such a beautiful depiction here, and the way that the figure is situated, being so central, and with all of these elements within the clothing and the bowl, we're really getting this eye movement that's going upward throughout the composition, and it's definitely giving an impression of strength to the figure. Definitely imbuing it with kind of a sense of regality there. Over here with Joe Mahoney, and we're having trouble with the glare of the camera here, but we were able to see it for a second, and this piece is just coming together really beautifully. Joe describes his work as being traditional and realist, and we're definitely getting into that territory there with that landscape. Over here with Kelly, and Kelly is adding some super rapid brushwork over into the sides. Linnea is not the only artist who is going expressive with the way that she's painting here tonight. Kelly is going high energy into the background, stippling some paint very, very rapidly. We have these this yellow and what looks like a darker blue and she's painting super rapidly. We always say that Art Battle is a speed competition for painting, but Kelly is going at absolute hyper speed right now. This is some of the fastest brushwork I've seen, so kudos to Kelly. Starting to get a view now of the way that this environment is coming together for Joe. Joe has a really wonderful ability to represent light in his work and the way that light hits all of the different elements of his landscapes that he creates. Back with Tamina now, and Tamina is really honing in on those details. She's done a fantastic job of time management here. She's got so many elements of the figure done, and of the background, and just all of these colorful components within the garb of this figure, and we're only 10 minutes in. So Tamina has 10 more minutes to work on that painting, and I feel like we're gonna get into some really detailed territory there. So looking forward to seeing how that evolves. Okay, Linnea. So this whole time, she's been painting this piece upside down, and she just changed it. Initially, I was thinking that this piece was very totally abstract, but now she has flipped the canvas, flipped the script, and we can see that she's got some sort of robot character moving through this chaotic environment that she's created, and I just think that that is such an amazing battle strategy, and I know that the audience is just gonna totally go for that. Back with Jade here, and Jade is certainly going for that technical execution, and she's definitely succeeding. We're getting some really beautiful highlights into the fins of the fish. Over with Sarah, and Sarah is continuing to work into the hair of her portrait, really bringing a lot of energy and movement here. Using black as her point of contrast to frame out the face and bring it forward. Getting those hits of that black lines into the eyelashes and also into some of the hair, bringing this piece more into that kind of illustrative space. And we have 8 minutes remaining on the clock. So if you are out in the internet and you're watching, head over to artbattle.com/AB2404, where you will be voting for your favorite artist. So again, not only are you voting for which piece you think is visually the best, but also think about whose performance you have enjoyed the most in this round, because the top artists moving forward will be painting again in the final round. So who do you want to see paint again? Whose piece did you like the most as well? And you can vote at that link, artbattle.com/AB2404, and the auction is also live on that link as well. You can bid on any of these works to take them home. We will ship them to you. You don't need to be in the room to collect any of these pieces. Looks like we've got a great sense of energy going on from all of these artists. Everyone seems very calm and collected in the way that they're working. I'm not seeing a lot of harried artists. They don't look nervous, but still there's so much energy on display, especially from Linnea here, whose vest is still going strong. Over with Jade, and really enjoying graphic elements that are coming into this composition. There's so much going on with the echoing of the circles, and it's really bringing the viewer into the center of the canvas. And now we have this focal point of this red orb surrounded by black dots. Very interesting addition to that piece. So Linnea here, and we have this wonderful background going with the blue that is cascading up, which she achieved by using paint that was very watered down and allowing it to drip down the canvas. But now that she's flipped it, it's dripping up the canvas. And we have this wonderful robot character that appears to be shooting lasers at tacos. There is a first time for everything at Art Battle. I don't think I've seen a piece that is quite that unique in a little bit, and I'm really into it. I'm really digging it. Joe Mahoney really doing some beautiful work here, creating a very immersive environment. And again, with the time management, he's just really built this piece in such an intelligent way, starting with the sky, then adding into the mountains, giving us those trees, just really layering all of those elements and coming into our final 5 minutes. Oh wow, what is Kelly doing? So Kelly is now ripping into her canvas. She has cut the canvas and she's creating holes and folding it back. This is so interesting. So it's definitely a Frida Kahlo portrait, and she's cut a wound, it looks like, into the portrait. This is so interesting. I don't think I've ever quite seen this technique displayed either. Lots of firsts here tonight in Art Battle Minnesota from these artists. They are bringing their biggest and best to the easel tonight. We're getting a lot of really interesting performative elements going on. And we can see that Joe's brushwork has gotten a lot more rapid. He's definitely feeling that time crunch now, blending out the gorgeous clouds that he's got going on at the top. And definitely not disappointed with Tamina's output here. We were so correct. The way that Tamina is going with this piece is she established everything basically in the first 10 minutes only, and then is now spending a lot of time on detail, and we're getting some really beautiful beaded elements that are coming off of this figure here in a metallic, and that is just such an incredible element and is really honoring the traditional garb that is on the figure in her piece. Back with Jade here, and we have some more stylistic choices with this addition of the dots of green on top of the heads of the koi. And it's in a perfect diagonal formation to the red center orb. And now she's adding in just a little bit of a darker element of contrast on the edge of that white circle that's surrounding the koi, really bringing it home as the focal point. Back over with Sarah here. And Sarah is now continuing to add in this darker line work, really finishing off the piece and continuing to add in these final elements of detail. She's working into the brows now, always a very important element of any portrait. Often we say that the eyes are the windows to the soul, but the eyebrows are the recognition point of the face. We often will kind of pick up on the structure of the face mostly based on eyebrows. It really helps provide that proportional element and a distinctive one at that too. Heading into our final 2 minutes. Voting is open. Go to artbattle.com/AB2404 to cast your vote. The top 2 artists as voted by the audience will move forward from this round and from our previous first round. Voting is still open for that too, so if you're just joining us now, you can also vote in round number 1, as well as our current round number 2. And looks like we have some reflective elements in Tamina's piece as well, potentially some glitter. Heading into our final minute here. And I can't wait for the reveal when Joe places this piece back up on the easel. I'm sure that that is definitely going to be a crowd-pleasing event where they really get to see how it's totally come together. And Kelly here, adding these final elements of painting the edges of the canvas, something that I always love to see. I really feel like it just finishes off the piece and just brings it into kind of a more mature space of painting. And cool that we can see the light actually coming through the hole in the canvas that she's created. Big congratulations to all 6 of our artists who painted in round number 2. Voting is now open at the link that is on your screen, so make sure that you cast your vote for your favorite artist. Not only are you thinking about which piece visually is the most striking for you, but also whose performance did you enjoy the best, because you will be seeing the top artists painting again in the final round. We will be back with the winner announcement in just a few minutes.
Guillermo on easel and canvas number 1. We got Jeremy on canvas number 2. Tamina on canvas number 3. And Jade on canvas number 4. Okay, artists, are you ready? You ready? Okay. Do you want the ready, set, go, or the 1, 2, 3? Which one do you guys want?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, the audience voted. You guys were too quiet up there. 1, 2, 3, go!
Our third and final round for Art Battle in Minnesota has just begun. Our final artists have 20 minutes on the clock to go from blank canvas to incredible masterpiece. Once again, they have already qualified by creating a 20-minute piece in one of the earlier rounds, and now they have to do it all over again. We always say that the best way to win Art Battle is to do the best painting of your life in 20 minutes, and then to do it all over again and create an even better piece. So right now we're looking at Guillermo Valadez, and he is working on potentially a portrait. We're seeing a lot of rapid brushwork here. Seeing a triangle where the nose would be, so maybe this is going to be turning into an animal portrait. I'm thinking that we're going to be going into lion territory. That's what I'm getting from just the movement of the brushstrokes coming outward from the center of the canvas and that triangular nose there. And here we are with Jeremy Arvizo, who actually was a winning artist not too long ago on January 13th in Phoenix. So Jeremy is looking to put another feather in his cap and hopefully win in another city. And he's going very, very colorful this round. Totally opposite strategy from his approach in Phoenix. Or sorry, from his approach in the first round, where he painted a very dark colored background and layered his calligraffiti style on top of that. Now we're going very, very colorful at this point. And I'm sure that he's going to be layering lots and lots onto that as well. Here we are with Tamina, who made it into the final round with the beautiful and regal figurative portrait that she did of the woman with a bowl on her head and a baby on her hip in traditional garb. It was really wonderful piece that incorporated a lot of interesting elements. At the end, she had some reflective pieces and glitter going on in there. So really, really excited to see what Tamina pulls out for the second round piece. We can see that she's working on this rainbow gradient right now. So I think that Tamina might actually be switching into more of a landscape mode. And here with Jade Wilson, who qualified for the final with that stunning illustrative koi painting with all of these really interesting compositional elements of the circles with the koi swimming in the circles, and then additional decorative circles on their heads and in the middle. That was really cool, and I can definitely see why it got her voted forward into the final. So looks like Jade is also taking a different approach. She was quite stark in her color choices in the qualifying round piece, using just basically only 2 colors or variants thereof. in her qualifying round piece. So I think that this piece is going to be a lot more colorful. We've got this orange and then kind of a purple that is coming up from the bottom of the canvas. So I think that Jade might actually be moving into an illustrative space or a landscape space as well, actually. Back over to Tamina, and I'm starting to see the suggestion of some mountainous lines at that horizon point. And I like the way that she's contrasting this already. The mountains are reading as green, and we've got a heavier set of mountains, I think, right in front of those that are darker blue. And it's just creating that sense of perspective and distance already. We're getting kind of the crest of light on the top of the mountains, reflecting off of that sunset there. And back with Jeremy here, and Jeremy has really blended this out quite a lot. We had some stark lines of color that were being expressed almost like rainbows in the way that the stripes were right up against each other. And now Jeremy has done a lot of blending and has created a lot of kind of more subtle gradients within that. And I'm really digging this. It's definitely leaning into the abstract, and I'm not sure where he's going with it, but that's what I'm digging about it, is that he's kind of keeping us guessing with this. And back with Guillermo here, and Guillermo once again is taking this unconventional palette approach and is using some unexpected colors in different areas of the piece. He's kind of segmenting these colors and applying them to different areas and almost creating like a color patchwork. But as he evolves this piece, I'm sure that those patches will begin to play off of each other. I really enjoyed watching him in his qualifying round earlier and how he was able to harmonize all of those different elements. Definitely getting a sense that Guillermo is taking some inspiration from Fauvist painters right now. Fauvist painters, it was an art movement that was inspired by unconventional use of color, particularly applied to portraits. And really there was an expectation to break all of the conventional rules of color of what you would see naturally in the real world. And it really was a significant movement that helped to expand what we think of as beautiful painting. And so I'm definitely getting that impression here from Guillermo that he's really excited to break the rules and be unconventional with this palette. Back over to Jeremy now, and we are getting these stunning calligraphic lines coming in. He's just watching him and the effortless way that he moves the brush and gets all of these super sharp lines is just really inspiring to see. Definitely enjoying this approach. And an interesting choice from Jeremy as well to be going from this super colorful, soft, and blended background into these really sharp, contrasting, dark lines. It's definitely providing a lot of visual interest. And I'm wondering if this might veer into the representational, that maybe he's drawing something specific with this, or he's going to continue in that abstract vein that he was in for the first round. So Tamina, wow, a lot has happened since we were last visiting Tamina at her easel. We have this fully realized landscape painting now. Tamina is just killing it with the way that she's managing her time. In her first round qualifying piece, she had basically the entire thing done at the 10-minute mark and then just spent the last 10 minutes of the round adding in details and flourishes and that unexpected glittering texture. And now we're getting the same thing from Tamina. This is very close to a finished piece, and we're only we're actually only 8 minutes into the round. So wow, very impressed with Tamina's ability in speed painting. And again, this is for all of these artists, with the exception of Jeremy, it is their first time painting in Art Battle. So a big congratulations to these artists, really bringing a lot of courage and creativity to the easel, and just looking like seasoned pros too. Jade is coming together with this really wonderful fox. I love the upward movement that's guiding your eye from that swoosh of the tail into the elongated neck of the fox, and the way that she's framed out the fox with the sun behind it. It's calling back to her earlier piece with the koi and the way that circles featured very prominently in that composition, but it's such a different painting. So we have similar color elements with this orange here, and similar compositional elements and geometric elements with the circle being highlighted once again. So really, really great strategy from Jade, that she's within her style, but also using elements that call back to the piece that got her voted forward in the first place. So great battle strategy from Jade there. And Tamina is just doing such a fantastic job of creating these silhouettes of the cacti. And I like that she's got so many at different points of perspective and points of distance within the landscape. It's really helping to bring us into that environment. And she's definitely having to work with some really careful brushwork there to get that crisp silhouette that she's achieving. And we're just about 8 minutes remaining on the clock, so we are more than halfway through this round. Voting is open for our third and final round. At artbattle.com/AB2404, you will vote for your favorite artist. Only one artist from tonight will be moving forward and will become the champion of Art Battle Minnesota tonight. So big stakes here. Make sure that you use that link to vote for your favorite artist. These guys have displayed just so much creativity and ability at the easels here tonight. So make sure that you are supporting them with your votes, and you can also support them with bids if you like at the auction online. We have the silent auction available at that link as well. Getting lots of great textural components that are starting to be introduced in this piece by Guillermo as he's layering color in the mane of this lion. Very dark within the eyes of the lion. I wonder if he's going to be bringing any light in there. I know that that's something that I would love to see, that kind of connecting point of maybe the pupils of the lion here, or if we're going to be maintaining this kind of darker, more ominous energy. And just as we were talking about wanting to get a little bit of highlight within that eye, we just got those two swipes in the lower lid that's just really creating kind of that sense of menace. And this piece by Jeremy is just coming together so beautifully. It's like an abstracted tiger. I'm really enjoying the way that this is coming together and the different directionalities and size variants that he's using for these strokes. And with 5 minutes remaining on the clock, it'll be interesting to see how much further Jeremy goes into the layering of these elements. Tamina working with, I think it is some kind of metallic gel. I think that it's some sort of metallic gel that she's layering on top of the cactus to act as a highlight. And I think it's the metallic that was the surprise element at the end of her first qualifying round on the close. So we missed that initially. And so it's interesting to see her bringing that in now, and we kind of get an insight into what that secret weapon was. Wow, those highlights are just totally setting this piece off, and it's difficult to capture metallics on camera, but we're getting definitely that sense of sparkle from that piece. And now we have the addition of the clouds in this piece for Jade, which I think is providing a lot of really nice balancing elements and is continuing to kind of lean into that surrealist element within this piece. So we have the oversized moon, the very celebratory figure of the fox looking upward, and then these cloud elements coming in, all coming together to create this kind of narrative surreality. So it looks like Guillermo has decided to keep this piece looking a little bit darker and a little bit more ominous. And it's almost giving like Lion King Scar vibes at this point. It's a really intense piece, but it's connecting with that intensity. It's connecting with the audience in that intense way. And I'm sure that our voters are going to be drawn towards that as well. Voting is open in the final round. Go to artbattle.com/AB2404 to vote for your favorite artist and who you think should win for the entire night. One artist will be crowned the winner tonight. Getting into those final strokes, continuing to add that texture into the mane of this lion. Just emphasizing his presence. And we can see on the side of the canvas there just how thick this paint is being applied. One minute remaining on the timer. We can see all of our crowd are getting really excited. Everyone's very engaged. This is our first event in Inver Grove Heights. And we can definitely tell that the audience is really highly engaged with these artists, excited to see live competitive painting taking place for the first time. A really impressive output from these artists. Loving getting that final moment with Tamina's piece and just really seeing those sparkling elements that she's added into there. I'm not usually a huge fan of glitter on the canvas, but she's used it in such a sparing way and in the darkest points that it's just used correctly, you know? I feel like she's done such a great job with it. About to get our final countdown here.
Vote. You guys need to vote, 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 vote. We are leaving here tonight with one artist that will be going on to another state to compete. So please get those votes. Wow, what a spectacular final.
so many different styles here, and just so much imagination. I think that's what always strikes me the most with Art Battle is out of every image that could have been painted, these artists choose something from their heads and their hearts to display for the audience, and it's always so completely unique to them. So head on over to artbattle.com/AB2404 to cast your vote and support these artists who have painted their hearts out for you tonight. A huge shout out also to all 12 of our artists who competed. Almost all of them first time Art Battle artists, first time at the live painting battle arena, and just overall a very impressive event, especially being a first event in Inver Grove Heights. And of course, a congratulations to our team out there for managing a successful first event. We are tallying up all of the votes now, and we'll be announcing the winner in only a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Many, many more of these. Whoever is announced as the winner is going to be going on to Omaha, Nebraska for March 17th to compete in their state competition. I know Omaha. I thought it was Chicago, but they said Omaha. So I rolled with it. What else? I need you guys to save the date of March 31st. It's a very important date. It may or may not be the second one.
It is the second one. We got the inside scoop.
Okay, let's see. Did you guys have fun tonight? You did? Okay. Are you tired? Me too, I'm tired. Who does things on a Thursday night? I don't know what I was thinking. Thank you to my son who came here to help us. He's got to go to high school tomorrow. Okay. I'm gonna say the auction's probably closed. I don't know, has it been a minute? Yeah. I don't really know, but I'm just gonna say that. And then we're gonna get on to announcing who's going to Omaha. And then I'm gonna tell you why I told you to save the date of March 31st. Okay. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yes.
Okay. Wait, we gotta see this. Who thinks it was this one? How about this one? How about this one? How about this one? Okay, are you guys ready? Is the anticipation killing you as much as it is me? All right, the winner for tonight's art battle is Tamina Muhammad! Now, congratulations, Tamina. I know that you've been dying to do one of these, so when you heard it was coming to Minnesota, I think you blew up my inbox like 100 times over with multiple applications, and I was like, girl, it hasn't even been a day! So we thank you for being here. We thank all artists for being here because they are all amazing stars. Now, if people blow up my inbox and say they want one of these to happen in February, that might happen. I'm sure you can find me. I'm all over social media as Kelly Anderson or Crayon Kelly. And I'm sure you can probably even find where I live. Don't show up at my house, though. The dinosaurs are no longer in the driveway. They're not there. But March 31st, we will be having an art battle in the Rotunda at the Mall of America. So you didn't participate tonight and you want to try to participate in that one, let me know. If you haven't filled out an application, go fill it out. And we're very excited, and thank you so much, everybody, for coming out tonight. Oh wait, you know what? I need to thank some other people. I need to thank DJ Ryan. I need to thank Doorman Tom. Our wonderful live streaming lady Beatrice and my partner in crime, Amber Rose, who made a lot of you feel special tonight. Got things when we needed them. And if there's anybody I missed, I'm really sorry. Oh wait, we need to thank Jerseys. Thank you, Jerseys, and all the bartenders and servers. We appreciate you.
A huge congratulations to Tamina Muhammad, our winner of Art Battle in Minnesota tonight. She will be moving forward to the regional finals in Omaha on March 17th. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us on the stream and to all of the amazing artists who painted tonight, and of course to our team on the ground in Inver Grove. So goodbye and good night. Stay tuned. We will be doing more streams this week. We have one coming up tomorrow for New York and Chicago and Omaha on Saturday.